This is the continuation of the Meet the Coach series, and this is part F, My Mind, the COMETSA coaching perspective continued. Daily trips. As we grew up to far distant schools were the order of the day. In the black areas in those years, not only knowledge was scarce, but schools were also very far. Getting up in the morning and preparing for the trip to school was the biggest test of one's commitment to acquiring knowledge. I traveled long distance every day from Muribani village to Malikutu High School at Rasekwati Mamone in the greater Sekhukhune municipality just outside Jenifes in the Limpopo province. I did not realize that this was to teach me discipline that will be needed in my later professional life. Today, my mind processes this background and gives me the understanding why I am who I am in my deeds. I've shared with you in the previous episode that most of us as Black South Africans grew up in poverty. There is no comfort though in poverty. One wonders if there is a degree of comparison in poverty and especially the poverty that most of us as Black South Africans have and are still facing. However, growing up as a Black rural child has its own traumatic pressures and consequences. That's the fact that it's known. There is, however, wisdom associated with having no one to demand all the necessities of life from. I learned not to demand anything. I believe this was reflected and is still reflected in my attitude today towards the concept of remuneration in whatever one does. There's one aspect of my growing up in the deep rural Sekhukhune land that I would like to share with you that really informs or becomes part of my perspective in transformational coaching. This is the concept of the African schools. This is one of the proud traditions of us Africans. The Babedis are certainly known for the rigorous process of initiation into manhood. But it's not the ritual that really makes this process so valuable in our culture, especially in those days. It is the education about leadership, responsibilities, and life in general that matters. Obviously, this is not to suggest that those who did not go to the initiation schools cannot learn these traits of life. In those days, this was the most reliable source of knowledge of life, as imparted by the elders on the young ones. I had to suspend my schooling to attend the initiation school at the Marulaneng village under Kgoshi Petedi in the greater Sekhukhune municipality in Limpopo province. I was already in grade 9 at school and was one of the elder scholars. During the initiation period, I kept my mind focused on my schoolwork, even though I did not have books with me. I practiced what I had learned. Interesting enough, when I returned to the modern schooling to continue my learning, I continued focus on what I had learned during the initiation at the mountain school. It is therefore not surprising that I have chosen this project, my mind, as my life philosophy, just to take you through the memory lane of where my thinking was shaped up and where my life started, that really gives the perspectives to my coaching program today. First time away from home was indeed a painful experience, but at the same time, the great beginning of the life that I so much treasure today. The first time I went away from home was when I went to Barango College, just outside Marvel Hall in Aravi, to do my grade 11 and ultimately 12 to complete my high school studies. It was at this stage of my life when my mind became broad in interpreting my daily life experiences. Until today, I enjoy the challenge of trying to understand why the world is the way it is. Today in my professional life, I'm faced with a challenge of understanding why people believe so much in positional authority and less in personal influence or personal authority. It is personal authority, I believe, that lasts long. People with strong personal authority experience little frustration and stress in their professional lives, especially as they interact with other people that they are leading. They are never threatened by the achievements of the others because they are more concerned with themselves and their destiny that they want to pursue. If people with positional authority try to stop their growth, they find external alternatives without negatively reacting to the challenge. The other experience away from home was when I went to Gauteng for the first time to study at the University of the Witwatersrand, famously known as Wits. Why is it so difficult, I ask myself, for the people to understand that the true success is the one that is experienced by the others, not the one that one perceives to have achieved. This suggests that you can only achieve true success when you touch the other people's lives by serving them. People who serve the communities come second in the enjoyment of their achievements, but the enjoyment lasts longer. So I believe the type of the enjoyment I'm referring to is not the one received from material possessions. It is the enjoyment experienced from the knowledge that you have changed people's lives and the people carry a testimony to that effect. However, I found the city life to be the opposite. Since then, I have endeavored to engage myself in community service to avoid full absorption into the selfish, materialistic city life. Again, my mind dictated to me. I hope that it is becoming clear to the listener as to what the object of my mind project as contained in this piece of work is about. The story of my mind is a self-directed story that unfolds out of the day's experiences. It is a fascinating, dynamic story that has helped me find a new meaning to life. Whenever I sit in front of my personal computer to continue the story of my mind as it informs the perspective of my coaching, I do not feel like stopping. This is the project that one cannot imitate. It is contained in a vision, and it is indeed a calling, namely a life purpose or a life task. I understood the message to be saying, write about your experiences, for you are so young and yet has been good, and yet has seen good things that your fellow brothers and sisters can benefit from. Hence my turning to coaching as a way of empowering my clients and my people, my friends, in their personal and business life. By visiting our website, you will learn more about our approach to coaching. So visit www.cometsa-goc.com or send us an email at callcenter@cometsa-goc.com or write to us at 011-974-9308 and ask to speak to the colleague Portia Diketane and arrange an appointment to have one-on-one conversation with me about how coaching can be a solution to many of your challenges in your personal and professional life. I look forward to hear from you. Goodbye now.